Hi, everyone. Give me a second while I finish all this wonderful back and forth that I'm doing with technology. My name is Christine Mourier, and technology is already moving. Hold on a second. All right. I do think we're live and we're going. Um, Hey everyone, I know I've been gone a little bit here, and it's because I have been working on, as many of you know, that I've been working on a book, and it's turning out to be a lot bigger than I mean, it's a little bit mind blowing, and it's completely all consuming. So just bear with me as I go through this personal process. And hi, Renee. Hey, honey. Thanks for being here. Okay, I'm trying to get my mouse to go over me and technology. Oh my God. I know I'm actually getting better at it. I need to give myself, I think we all need to give ourselves um, a lot more credit than we do with the things that we're learning, and especially in technology and all that kind of stuff. So it'll move. I'm hoping it's going to move. It's not moving. Well, today, everyone, is the 29th of June. And what I wanted to do today is to talk about the life path numbers and how they're interacting and working with this global year new surge that we're in, because the one personal year or the one global year is not a small thing. It's the beginning of a whole new 9 year walk in that direction of growth and change and um, igniting something in our lives that is bigger than a bread box, right? And so the life path for all of us is something that we were born with, right? It's our spot that um, is our bogey and our target. It's the seat of our life, and it has a reach that's connected to it. And that reach has an answer for how to get there. And so your life path that is sitting inside of the one global year is really an important aspect to understand. Most of the time, I talk about these personal year cycles, and that yes, they're important. It helps us with the boots on the ground, do's and don'ts, decision making, all that kind of stuff that is moving in our lives, choices, relationships, career, um, ways to lean into it, and definitely, these spots that I call to don'ts of what to look out for. But how does the life path connect into all of it, right? So, if you don't know what your life path is, you guys, it's really super simple. Most people know when they talk about numerology, they'll go to the life path and have that connection. And the less known is these personal year cycles, but it's four numbers in a chart that function as a cohesive whole: the global year, and then you have your life path, and then you have the month that we're sitting in, and then you have these personal year cycles. All right. So, this show, what we're going to talk about is your life path bouncing around in this one global year. And I keep on trying to get the mouse to do something. That's just off the top of my head, because I can talk about all this stuff in my sleep. I really can. All right. So Sherry is here. Hello, honey. And Denise. Good morning, sunshine. All right. Life path comes from, how do you figure out your life path? Day, month, year of your birth. You take all those numbers. It's a one long math equation. Just line them up, add them up, You're going to get a double digit number more than likely. And for our young ones, they probably won't. All the kids that are born in 2000 and on, who aren't kids anymore. Gosh, that definitely is putting an age on my on on me. I'm 61, so and um, and then you break it down to a single digit. Now, if you have an 11 or 22, those are considered master numbers. So, guys, you got to leave those alone. We're just going to talk about your life path and how it's moving around in this cycle. All right, of the global year, because what we are sitting inside of right now is a pause month. Seven energy says stop, hold on, let's just back this up. And seven energy is the seventh month in July, where we really have to check what it is that we've laid down and have a think. It's not an out and do month. It is a month where we just really got to kind of sit and think about things and think about us inside of it, use our beautiful, capable minds, and kind of get into the weeds of that to see if we can figure out, yeah, assess the terrain, just figure out what are we building? Why are we building it? How have we built it? Where are we inside of all of it? Does it feel right? And so if I can get to the personal year cycles, I will. But I think more this is just going to be a conversation about the life paths moving through this year. All right. So if you're a life path one, you're in a perfect coupling of the pioneering and the ignition and the get up and get going energy. And the lifelong question that one energy has in your world is, can you trust that you are capable of leading? Do you need permission from anyone? And the answer is no. You don't need permission. When you have a 1-1 connection of a one life path, which is your reach is going from needing permission to becoming the one who goes first. All right. The road and the year finally agree. Foot down, double green light, and it's your window to go. And it just, what I think for the life pathers, 1-1, you're always going to have this. 2-1, you're always going to have this. 3-1, this is the cycle that we're all set in on. Is, can you trust yourself that it's time for you to get up and it's time for you to be a leader without apology, by the way, and step into that space that says, I'm in my seat and I'm taking these big initiative moves that you've been waiting on for quite some time, by the way, and I'm going to make it happen. Other people will catch up to you. So the drive for the life path of one is, can you trust yourself to lead? And the answer that sits in that is, it's the pushing for you of becoming the one who is in front. And every single time that I say, I have two kids who, my two children are both one life pathers. And that job, that role of leading and leading in a way that you're bringing something forward in your world that is uniquely connected to you. That's kind of a big concept. My life path is a 9. If you guys, you pop your life paths into the chat room, you guys. And so the push, the pull that these life paths have is to, it's challenging you to sit in the anchor of that, like in the very seat of you. This is the bogey that you have for your entire life in numerology. It's practical application for me. Numbers are patterns, and I am a person that definitely understands patterns. In the field, in life, it just makes sense. It's an anchor, right? So for the one life path always falling in line with the one global calendar cycle, that tells me one thing. I'm just going to talk. I get all these notes together and then it's like, I don't even know why I do this anymore. I don't know. It's good for mapping for my brain. So you get one shot, basically. The launch for the one life path has this overwhelming pull to build something new. And what is that new? And that's connected not to that's not connected to an outside to-do list. That's connected to self. What is it that is uniquely you, one life path? And it could be anything. It's not somebody else's list. It's your desire. And it's about creating. It's about generating something out into the world and expressing yourself through that creation that is uniquely seated in your very, just right here. Like, what makes you tick? What makes you happy? What makes you interested? What makes you creative and passionate about getting up in the morning because you're doing that? That's what the global year offers all of us right now. It's an offering. These cycles are fascinating in what happens in a one global year around the world. And it's true for us sitting inside of it as well, because we matter. We're part of the global community and we're actively, participating and bringing forward some really beautiful things. So for the 1-1, life pathers 1-1, and the confidence that's needed. Oh, the confidence, the overwhelming confidence that's needed, right? And thinking about what makes me happy, what makes me unique, what makes me tick. I have had just a lifetime of experience with both of my kids around this. And it's, I know it intimately. I have a very small one in my chart, and it's my birthday number. So it doesn't hold as much weight. Yeah. And I am a 9 life path, right? So it's, so raising 2-1 life pathers, fascinating. And they are that. They are absolutely that in a box. So for anybody who is in that, in a 1 life pather that's in a one, our one global year, you guys, you just really have to trust that you can lead. And this is where the road and your life path come together, and you've got a double green light to go. Obviously, that there's definitely some don'ts here, which is an ego, no steamrolling, no impatience. That's shadow of the double one energy, and mistaking boisterous boisterousness for leading. That is not the way to go. Also, ones can burn bridges, and that's, while they're, let me talk about that just for a minute, because I think I'm just going to sit this whole entire show, you guys, about this, and then next week I will pick up on the personal year cycles. All right. So the push pull that does sit with the one energy is that there, while it's a solo number, it also is a part of community, as all of the numbers are. So the careful as you go is burning bridges, because that is something that your creative leadership is building independently. It is solo, and it also inspires people around you, which is the community aspect. So um, that's just, it's just a little careful as you go here for the ones. Um, and all of the numbers, they have a balance. There's a balance there. It's like, well, the reach is be independent, unique individual, self assured, um, clear with your creativity. The warnings for the one is don't fall into codependence, don't burn bridges, um, don't go into manipulating other people, because the one energy is really, really smart. And it's this delicate balance where in leadership and community, and it has to be an equal measure. And the only way that that's going to happen if you're just sitting anchored in the seat of the one energy. Does that make sense, you guys? Sherry, you're saying my kids' life paths are 7 and 1. Does this make sense? Yeah, when we get to the 7, we'll talk. So I have a lot of 7 um, people in my life. Renee, you're a 9 life path, just like me. All right. Denise, you're 5. Yep, I know that. Yep. And Sherry, you're a 9. Okay. Pamela, what's your life path, hon? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so good. So if anything resonates, just pop it in and let me know. So, and again, I'm tying it into the frequency of what is the launch inside of the global year. It will begin to quiet as we close out the year. So we've got about 6 months left to really get the most that we possibly can out of this year. And trust me when I tell you that I'm a hard worker. I don't have enough hours in the day, and I'm excited to be able to bring that to you, but not right now, you guys. So let's make this all about you. 2 life pathers. This energy is in the one frequency. You know what your bogey and your target is? It's partnership. And can you stay yourself? Can you be true to yourself? If it's a mantra, it would be, can I stay myself while staying with you? Can I stay myself while staying with you? Right? There's no charging the gate with a 2 energy. You build alliances. And your beginning is we. It's not a solo launch like the 1. This is now 2. And this is about collaborating. And the year is about multi established cornerstones in collaboration, in negotiation. You are sensitive to begin with. And in this year, your sensitivity is way up there, high on the radar, and really learning how to trust who you feel and know is actually aligned. That's 2 in a 1 global year. Right. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay. Negotiations, diplomacy, tact, a life path who has to find the seat of themselves. Now, the word is seat. Where's the seat of your life path? where you fully anchored into it. The two has got to sit down and be comfortable with knowing where they end and somebody else begins, and that this is your bogey and your target. The reach for you is to get comfortable with the discomfort, and you absolutely will. I mean, how can you not? It's This is how life rolls, is we get comfortable with our discomfort, and then we have these little pockets of time where we're just fine, and we feel, oh, I got it all figured out, and then something else comes. For the two, this is this balancing act of really feeling in between the seams of people and situations. And it's that space that does not include words at all. No words, energy, reading the field. And that's, bravo. And, all respect to the two life pathers out there who chose this. Whoo! That's not a small thing. And the trick there with the two in a one search is, this is where you will see change. However, this is how you're going to see change. And it's the change that you want in relationship, your career, your personal aims and your goals, everything. It's how you're negotiating, how you're interacting, knowing where you end and everything else begins, so you can have this beautiful dialogue back and forth. And really, what does a diplomat do? A diplomat reaches across conflict and finds a solution. If you're sitting in a big job and you have to figure out messes or paths towards success and prosperity across the board for your company, I would want a two in the room that was firmly seated in their life path. Okay, so the trick is this, it's a superpower. Our life paths are two things. They're our superpower, and they are also the reach. Where are we trying to get better at? What are we trying to understand and integrate and metabolize, right? Guess what happens with the two if they're not in their seat? They end up getting lost in the seams between the people that they interact with. They start to lose that definition, and then they retreat because it's overwhelming, and then they become reactive and they feel like a doormat and that they're being used and not seen or taken for granted. And that's a dangerous place for the two to go, because listen, energy is energy and telepathy is telepathy, and that's emotional and mental. And just the fact that you can read a room, uh, you've got, it's not an excuse to disengage from the world. It is an opportunity to understand human behavior and human reaction and interaction. Yeah, I have deep respect for two life pathers, you guys. I really do. All right, let's move to the three. And hey, hi, Sarah. Hi, Serena. I'm glad you're here. And Marie, you're here. You're a 7. It's Thanks for you loving the setup. I listen, between all the new gear I have. You should have seen me this morning. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess, but I figured it out. All right, you guys, pop in your life paths. Sherry, you make sense. My brother is also a 1, and he just woke up after 12 years of being asleep. aka not engaging in life, and now he's kicking straight into high gear. That is fantastic. I'm really excited for him. Yeah, every life path has their own. Oh, I am so not getting to the pens. Every life path has their own superpower, and wow, they each carry a weight and also an opportunity. And uh, this bogey and this target that we're sitting inside of, that it's reaching, we're reaching for it. And there's an answer that's there. Um, and especially, we're in this global year of giddy up and go. It's like, well, how do I giddy up and go? You look at your life path. That's what you do. All right, threes. Threes in a 1 year. What is your launch? What is this thing? Is it safe to be seen? Mm. So, from hiding from the gift, this is your reach, to expressing it fully, and letting it land. Three life pathers. There's a couple of threads on three, and that is that it is insanely creative, and it has the ability to bring that creativity forward in a way that inspires people, period, across the board, to think outside of the box. I'm getting tingles when I'm saying this, and just by finding the courage to speak it, to be it, to speak it, to become it, is it's the challenge for the three life path. And in this global year, you've got to get up, you guys, and say it out loud. Get real about it. Naming your launch, naming yourself. Visibility is actually your strategy. It's not the byproduct. You've got to get out there, you've got to be seen, and you've got to speak. Pied Piper energy sits in the three, and all the talking in the world to other people, making a plan, doing more creativity, doing more of this. That is, you're burning out the window if you do that, because I just can't grab the threes hard enough. And this is about your unique creativity launching inside of this year, and get loud about it. Get out there. Yes, is it safe to be seen? You can only answer that. If you don't feel like it's not safe to be seen, then you're going to just, anchor into a place that you will be disappointed in a way that it's going to get in the way of you feeling good about the life that you're living. So, for when we choose these life paths, because I personally think that we choose these life paths, that we're choosing it for a reason. And so you can't really blame anybody else for the choice that you made, right? Whether this is true, whether this is not true, why don't we just go with that for now? And so if you chose this life path of three, then it stands to reason that you would look at the bogey and the target, and you would say, all right, I'm gonna take it up, and let's see, what can I do now? Get creative, get loud. It is definitely a fresh start. I don't know if I said this to everybody yet, but whatever we land in this year, whatever we produce individually in this year, is going to be the life that we will be living in some way, shape, or form for the next 9 years. And so it's kind of important to take it seriously, right? Yes. All right. Let's. Yep. No, I think I'm okay with the three. The things that you guys want to watch out for is all spark and no follow through. Don't do that. Finish what you start. Scattering your messages across a bunch of different mediums, too many channels. Try to consolidate and get your focus in. And then if you are performing your confidence rather than building it, right? That's going into too many conversations. You're talking to too many people. You're blah blah blahing, and it's like just put the fork down and get to work and get it done and get it out there. Okay, fours. Four energy. This is always, I say, for the four energy, it's about building. And the question that the four life path is reaching for is it going to hold? Um, this idea of collapsing and building something that lasts. Four energy is the builder, and that requires one brick at a time, and to make sure that what you're building can stand. Careful, systematic. This is building into the next 9 years of your life. And so slow, careful, calculated throughout this year is going to produce really great results for you for life paths. And slow is your insurance policy through the year, and not rushing. Don't rush. Over planning is a marker here for the four life path. And you don't want to do that inside of this one energy. It's just going to get you stuck in perfectionism. So don't fall into rigidity, over planning, or using the excuse that says, "Oh, I'm still working on it." I don't quite have it all down yet. I'm still working on it. Slow and steady wins the race. You're not the hare, you're the tortoise. And for life pathers, you are the builders in our society, the ones that make sure that we have solid foundations under our feet. For parents, for life path parents, are phenomenal in building structure for their children. And for life pathers in business, they are phenomenal for making sure that everything is in place. And at the same time, you know what they do? They can see the whole picture of what's going on in the organization if they're in their seat. And so if you know that you're here to build and you know how to build systems, then you can fly in any terrain that you want to go play in. Whatever you're focused in, though, right now, just make sure that you're laying down each stone and you're not skipping steps and you're completely methodical. All right. Skipping steps is a no. Oh, I hope this brick holds, and getting kind of falling into over analysis, overthinking. There's this sweet balance with the four life path in being able to listen to everybody around them, being able to be a logical thinker and a critical long-term thinker, and then making it happen. Right? From you individually to your family, to your community, to your job. Yeah. So we've all got this little bit of window left in the year, and I want everybody to be able to take it and run with it. Quelly, good morning, sunshine. Hey. What's your life path, Quayle? We're talking about life paths. 5 life paths. How am I doing on time? 5 life pathers. How free can you be without losing yourself? Freedom, expression, life path that reaches towards being, it's like I'm thinking about that. Let me go. Instead of scattering yourself, instead of losing yourself in the desire for freedom, you're the one that goes out and you experience life in ways that most people don't, because that's not our life path. And you touch different cultures and different ways of thinking and different living environments and dynamics, different people and how they think. And there's such a deep breadth of curiosity in the five life path. And the question for the five, your lifelong question, is how free can you be without losing yourself? How far can you reach and still be in the seat of who you are, knowing who you are and why you are here? Yeah. Fives bring flavor and dynamic and change and interest into the world. Um, so, for the five in the one energy of this global year, you've got a great coupling where freedom of your very life path nature meets this open road of the year itself that says, go baby, green light, go. It's the most aligned of all the life path global year couplings. And in a way, for you, it's a reinvention. Just reinvent. Go for it. It's not an assignment. This is your opportunity to go through that door that you've been eyeing for a long time and walk on through it, because for the five life path, these doors just open up. I call it balls rolling up to your feet. And when that ball rolls up to your feet, you look down on it and you go, huh. You pick it up, you have a look at it, where you go, yeah, I don't want to do that one. And then another ball. And then Quaylee, you're a five. And then another ball and another ball. This year that happens. And the wisdom that sits here is, can you, which balls that are rolling up, opportunities, offers, align with where it is that you want to go, and how you want your life to move. And really thinking about, again, this is the cycle that is gonna, there's so many things that are happening inside of this year that impact it's going to impact the next 9 years of our lives. And so we really want to think about this, what we're doing, why we're doing it. And next year, it'll be a different set of thinking, and it's quieter. It doesn't mean it's less important. It just means it's quieter, right? But I don't know, for any global year that I hit, and my own personal one, when I hit a one, I'm really paying attention and really being thoughtful with what I'm putting down. So, okay, so choose the change, five life pathers. Choose the change that you want, and make sure that change doesn't choose you. You choose it. You be proactive. You sit in the seat of you know where you want to go and what you want to do. So just choose wisely and keep your focus just to a couple of things. Not a lot. Don't scatter yourself. Rolling stone catches no moss. Just careful on that one. Six life pathers. Let's talk about you for a second. This is being inside of home and connections and the bonds in your life. The big question for the sixth life path is, can I care for others without losing myself? That's your reach. There's an understanding of being a leader inside of a community that can give in a way that doesn't overgive, and is focused instead on empowering people through love and in their lives, in order for them to do within their own life. Um, Six life pathers, they lead by caring. That's the kind of energy that you want to be moving through in the one energy of the global year. Your chapter opens through a relationship or a home shift. The responsibility you choose this year is the responsibility that you choose this year, not one that's dropped on you. And leading a family or a team is still leading. So six life pathers, the question for you, if you're comfortable with this, is that your ignition point sits in this zone: family, leader, community, helping others to do for themselves, being the person that people can come to, moving through life with integrity, thinking about the greater good of the collective, while you're also, your greater good six life pathers is actually sitting inside of community. Your seat is when your community is doing good, you're doing good. And when you are sitting in the core of your sixth life path and you're leading with that, then your community is doing good. So it's a very interesting dance that six moves through. And for the bogey and the target of the one global year, how is that build going? It does anchor into your success, your prosperity, the movement of our lives, which are our lives are pretty mundane. We have relationship, we have jobs, we have, what do? We have interests. We get up in the morning, we go through the process of life. We love our people, our children, our families, our friends, to the best of our ability. We are very creative. We're inspired to make sure, our goal is to make sure that we stay inspired in our life, right? We got to make sure that we are inspired to live our life. And so when you are in a service number like the 6 or the 2 or the 9, when you're in a service number like that, sometimes what we lose is, what about me? What about me? And the answer is, well, if you work your service number, this is the life path you chose, by default, it will be about you. It's a two-way street in the seat of you. You've got you here, 6 life pathers in community, being a leader inside that community. And if you're good, your community's good. If your community's good, you're probably good. And you have to sit in the anchor of that. What does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean to really be putting other people first? And that's what's going to serve you really well in your business, in your relationships, and where you're going in your life and what you want in your life. All right. I hope that makes sense, you guys. 7 life pathers. Now, Marie, you're a 7. Do we have any other 7s in the room? Sherry, your kids. All right, you've got a 7 kiddo. All right. I think we got a couple. So the bogey of 7 life path, it's existential. What is true? What's truth? Why am I here? Your reach is going from doubt and detachment to an earned, lived wisdom. Right? The world says in this year, go, 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 go. And the road for the 7 is I gotta go in. Both can both can work together. Both can work. I'm thinking about the kids here. Sherry, nope, yep, Sherry. One of your kids is 7. Um, there's a there's an energy to a 7 life path which is very unique, and it's a heady number. It's really intelligent. Um, it has an incredible capacity to use its beautiful intellectual um, mind in a way that can completely supersede emotional intelligence. So it can be a performative number. And the seed of the 7 is actually the mystic, which is thinking about things like, what is actually true? Let's sit down in an ashram and I will be your teacher and we will talk about this. They make great lawyers, they make great litigators, they are incredible when they're out there in the world, and they can use that pretty mind of theirs to make things happen. Except it's gotta, the where's the reach for the 7 life path? And the reach sits in, where is my soul in this? The heart, the seat of my spirit. And that sits in emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence says that this world is a lot bigger than just the intellectual mind. And when analysis stops hiding in these intellectual places, and the bridge starts to happen where the wisdom that actually is sitting in that beautiful 7 life path starts to come up from the heart and be spoken and shared and brought into conversation. That's it. That's the bridge. Brought into conversation, brought into action, and moving in your life. Things change a lot across the board. So this is the 7's opportunity to bring it out there into the world through their relationships, their work, and it requires time, downtime, a little bit of quiet, uh, and being able to think. And it's not as social; it's more introspective. Um, and I promise you guys that moving through this year of making it be about you as a spiritual being having a human experience, allowing that thought process to come into your your days, you know all of a sudden these gears start to move and change, and you start to see things and understand things in a different way that impacts the next 9 years of your life, in your personal life, your business, and all that kind of stuff. The danger for the 9 is always going to be going into cynicism, into egoism, isolating. Those are difficult uh, back eddies that you just barely can get out of them. It takes too long. It wastes an inordinate amount of time. You have a guru who's got to go to a cave and be alone and think these thoughts. The way that you're going to be able to make that bridge actually work is if you take all these ahas that are coming through your system, write them down, and then find the courage to share with somebody close to you, and find the courage the next time you're going into a meeting to bring it up in the meeting. Just one small thing. That's the reach for the 7 life path. You can have all the smarty ahas in the world, and feel like nobody understands you, and feel you could do all that, but that's not the goal. The goal of you, the reach, the challenge, take the challenge, share, and then watch how a dialogue opens up, a new dialogue, a new level, and a new layer of trust and flow between people in your life. Do you notice how this is just counteracting everything I'm saying about isolating yourself, not trusting people, going into paranoia? There's a, it's gotta, it's like, can I just stay in the middle of the catamaran? Because if I go over there, I'm going to go bloop. If I go over here, I'm going to go bloop, right? Seven needs to stay right there. All right, eights. Can I hold power without being held by it? Eight life path. I have a dear friend who's an eight life path. Can I hold power without being held by the power itself? The eight life path sitting in a 1 year, a one global year. There is a perfect lineup for you guys of bringing your mastery that you have built and letting it rip inside of something larger. All life paths are going to be a part of an organization, or they've started their own organization. They are movers and shakers in our world, and they can be a small business, but they're still an active part of that business, and it doesn't matter if it's theirs or if it's someone else, but these are people who are focused on commerce and money and out there in the business world and making a difference. And the ambition here is this starting line for all eight life pathers lined up here with this one global year. The runway just says go. Thinking about structure and scales and where is the win-win finish line, money and authority. Respond to clear vision this year. Building something that is going to outlast possibly your own lifespan. This is how eights run. And the thing that you guys have got to think about, eight life pathers, is what is it that you've laid down? What have you laid down? What has been your goal? Where's your time being spent? Sometimes this life path can get scattered and have too many irons in the fire. And when that happens, then their ability to generate wealth is diminished because they're over scattered. And here's the other thing that I want to say. I got to quickly talk about the no-nos here, which is forcing control over a situation or choking something out. That is not leading, because eights are leaders. What they do is they bring into our field of consciousness, they bring in a spark that is so bright to inspire people. And they inspire people through their work. That's really where it sits, because they know they're good and they know they have something to offer. And so they're going to offer it, hell or high water. And they do. And how they work with people collaboratively is something that is a lifelong reach as well. It requires patience. It requires stamina and going through the ups and downs and, people coming in and the changes that happen while still remaining in the seat of their leadership role. They are amazing philanthropists. They think about other people all the time. And note that I am saying this I haven't even touched the to-don't list, which is when eights lose sight of when eights just aren't anchored in their seat of their life path, they start to hoard resources, and they think, there's not going to be any more that's going to come after this. And they get stuck in a limitation thinking. When the eight energy, it's just got to be like, no, there is an entire world out there waiting for me. And there's an entire world of other people who are excited to meet me and are, we're same, and we can build this together. And it can be incredible. They're just visionaries and big thinkers. And they're they have a really soft, mushy part of them on the inside too, which I love. It's recognizing the 8 for their incredible capacity to build a business and make it better and bring people together and make them better. And being able to tell the 8 life path, you are that. Because they are that. They are that big force. Okay. 9s. Do we have any 8s in the room? 2 people I adore are 8 life paths. 9s. Okay, my 9s. I know I'm one of them. I have bitched and moaned about this life path for a long time. And it's just because it's mine, and I get to. 9 life path, the reaches. Can I love the whole world and still let go? Let me say that again, because this is where I said, Quayleigh, you're a 9. No, Renee, you're a 9. Yeah, and Sherry, you're a 9. You ready, you guys? Can I love the whole world and still let go? And I could just I could say, okay, that's it. That's it about the 9 cork. Put a cork on it and we're done. But your reach is from clinging and martyrdom to open-handed compassion. Yeah. Inside of this one global year, 9 pennants, with this incredible depth that you have to see the bigger picture of the world at large, and you understand something that very few people understand. It's not a crown to wear, it's a job. This is where I'm going to say, if there is a job that one of the numbers has in the life path, it's going to be the 9s. We have a job. And the job, when we're in the anchor of our seat, which is right here, right? It's like a Buddha. Where's my Buddha? I moved my Buddha. A Buddha where's the heavy, heavy girth, right, of a Buddha? It's down by the butt. When we're anchored in our seat of our 9 life path, moving through a 1 global year, what are we supposed to do with that? We're drawn to one thing. That thing that you've known forever, that thing that you've been working on forever. It's what I'm doing right now. I'm almost out of time, you guys. I'm going to go over a little bit. But this thing that you've got to finish that is from the past, get it done. We are called as 9 life pathers to metabolize the past. For every single one of us, that's going to look different. How are you being called to metabolize the past? That thing, get it done. What does that look like for every 9 life pather? I'll tell you, it's going to be fascinating. I would love to talk to all 9 life pathers. What is the piece in this year that is going to generate the biggest change for you, that will impact your future, that you have deep wisdom around? You know it innately. What is it, guys? For me, it's a story, and the story is my life. I had no idea that this needed to be out there in the world, and I needed to write it. It's mind-blowing what's going on in my world. You have something like that, 9 life pathers. I promise you, you do. I promise you. 9 life pathers, listen to me. We have the most... Let me just sit here for a minute. The depth and the breadth the understanding you have around human suffering, the depth of your compassion and your awareness and your deep empathy. Now I'm digging into every nine life pather who is sitting in the seat of their path. All right. You get it. You are the humanitarian. You're there. You're no longer in the pain and the suffering of your past and the things that have happened. You're no longer, if this is your past, you're not doing this and walking down the street like this. Your feet are going this way and your head's looking that way. You're not doing that anymore. That's the place where I've got to grab the nines. Nines have an incredible superpower to love. And they are healers. And they're when they are in their seat and they're able to metabolize ancestral trauma, and they're able to recognize that people are doing the best with what they've got, even if that best somehow hurt you. There is deep wisdom in the nine. And again, it's not a crown, it is a job. And so ego, you got to get over that ego too. You really do. Yes, you understand things, just like the seven. Oh, yes, you do. And yet, this world is massive, and it has a lot of beautiful, creative humanity inside of it. The babies and the adults and the elders. And the cycle keeps going. Do you guys know that 385,000 babies are born every day in the world? 385,000. And so it stands to reason that 385,000, give or take a number of people, are dying in the world. That's a massive number. And so the cycle just goes on and on and on. Death and life, death and birth. That's the nine. This is the nine. Nines can get stuck in a back eddy of the past. Our job as this life path is to metabolize the past and then reach towards the future. Metabolize the past, reach towards the future. And we do it through forgiveness and love. Right. Yeah. So this year, 9 life paths. That thing that is the past, that thing that must be finished, finish it up. Finish it up. Create something. Memorialize it. Give it its platform so that you can say, there, finished. And then you do this. You go, okay, what's next? You get to go. It will impact the next 9 years of your life and my life. And then guess what's going to happen 9 years from now? We get to do it again. Isn't that cool? All right. I am definitely at the end of the show. I missed you guys. Yes. I can tell you really quickly, I kind of have backed my way into the books that I'm writing now. And I say books plural because it is books plural. And the one thing that I never did is write the memoir of my own personal life, because that needs to be there in order for you to be able to tell your story. And then in order for us to be able to tell our collective story as a global society. See, I'm talking like a 9 life path. And for me, what I did was I just backed into it. I backed into it from, I could see the big picture for I don't know, an arc of my life. And then I got to the work, and then I did all this teaching around mindfulness and meditation on all these different practicums for integrating spirit and body. And then it got, and I thought, okay, that's just fine. That's just the book. And the answer was no. There's a story, and it's called Your Life. And that's my past. And in writing it down and doing the work, it's been an all consumption point. There is value in it. And there's a reason for it. And it's the same for everybody, that there is value and reason to our lives. So you guys, thank you for being here. This will be uploaded. I don't know how long it takes. How long does it take for Facebook? And maybe I'll have the buttons. And I should just never, ever do any reading with a teleprompter anyways, because that's, I keep trying and it keeps going, no, you're not doing that. You just got to talk. Hugs to all of you. Well, Renee, thank you. You guys have a good week. You know, you can find me over at 1-2-Listen if you ever need to connect. All right. And I am holding a remote healing session today at 5 through 1-2 Academy. If you guys want to join in, the link's over inside of my 1-2-Listen homepage. All right. Hugs, everyone. I will chat next week. And in the meantime, I have to figure out which mouse I have to use to actually stop the live stream. So give me a second. There it is. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.